Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border. The border crisis is on their doorstep. And they were begging people to care about it for years. We need to take some lessons.
That's what that was.
And I will dare to say that is the Latino man who wouldn't want a woman president. I mean, you and I had this discussion before, and I have audios from Latino men who were calling my show telling me that they wouldn't vote for her just because she was a woman. And that is unfortunately, but that's part of the Latino culture, right? Where the Latino, the man is the one, the provider, and we're the boss. And we still unfortunately have a lot of Latinos with that mentality where the woman belongs in the kitchen. That is a reality of the Latino male chauvinist culture. And I think that's exactly what happened.
Martinez has no idea what he's talking about. Some inconvenient facts for him. For instance, the fact that in 2016, Hillary Clinton won Latino men by a 31-point margin.
Game over already, but wait till you see more.
And if you think it's mainly because of racism, that also doesn't quite jive with the fact that Latinos voted for Barack Obama over Mitt Romney, 71% to Romney's 27%. What are we doing, Democrats? Like, what do you? They're gone, Cenk. They're gone. Like, unable, unwilling to ever do even a little bit of self-reflection.
Anna Kasparian is done with Democrats. As you just saw, she literally said, "What are you guys doing? They're gone. They're gone." Her and Chunk are done with the Democrats. Or is Chunk gonna stick up for them a little bit? I think Chunk will. By the way, thanks for watching today's video. Let's just get right into it. By the way, what they're talking about here is the insane outrage and rhetoric regarding Kamala losing. Democrats are trying to justify it by it being racist or sexist or all of these isms, of course, because that's what they do best. And Anna calls them out. By the way, comment Chunk for the algorithm, Chunky Yogurt. Comment his expiration date. We like to do that here. We have fun. Subscribe. Let's go.
Several minority groups, including blacks and Latinos, did, as Donald Trump predicted, move over to his column.
It is significant, but not really surprising. Donald Trump, I believe, and in speaking to a number of Republicans and Democrats, has a unique appeal to Latino voters. Most Latino voters are working class folks. And despite his crude sense of humor, despite the jokes that he makes, despite the exaggerations about his wealth and his exploits, for folks that from where I'm from and folks that I've grown up around, that resonates.
Well, Democratic operatives are desperately trying to figure out why Latino voters, in particular, swung dramatically toward Donald Trump, despite historically voting for Democrats. And they're doing this after the election took place, even though polls were indicating for over a year that this trend was happening, that the Democrats were bleeding support among Latino voters. So look, we'll get back to the very obvious underlying reasons in just a second. But first, I think it's worth looking at these record-breaking numbers, okay? What the results of the election was, what the results were, I should say, in regard to the Latino vote. So take a look at this graphic. So it shows that the majority, around 53% of Latino voters, still did vote for the Democratic candidate Kamala Harris in this election. But that is significantly lower than the 65% that voted for Joe Biden in 2020. So just bleeding support. Meanwhile, Trump did grow support from 32% to 45%, okay? Now, Latino men in particular made a huge swing between 2020 and 2024. So let's take a look at that. In 2020, for instance, Joe Biden won among Latino men by 23 percentage points, 59% to Trump's 36%. Fast forward to 2024, and Trump won the Latino men by about 10 points, 54% to Kamala Harris's 44%. He also won among Latino voters overall in the state of Texas. Trump captured 55% of Latino voters in the state, according to exit polls. He also won 14 out of the 18 counties within 20 miles of the border, a number that doubled his 2020 performance in the Latino majority region. So why the huge swing? What's going on? Well, some people, like Sonny Hostin and radio host Victor Martinez, think that it has to do with identity. Let's take a look.
Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep.
It's misogyny. Okay, come on, girl.
Begging people to care about it for years.
Misogyny
We need to
and
take some
sexism.
less.
That's what that was.
And I will dare to say that is the Latino man who wouldn't want a woman president. I mean, you and I had this discussion before, and I have audios from Latino men who were calling my show telling me that they wouldn't vote for her just because she was a woman. And that is unfortunately, but that's part of the Latino culture, right? Where the Latino, the man is the one, the provider, and we're the boss, and we still unfortunately have a lot of Latinos with that.
The funny thing here, guys, is that these are kind of my beliefs. Like, I don't think a woman should be president. I think it's a man's role. It's a leadership role. Men should be the patriarchs, the leaders of the family. So, guilty as charged for me, for sure.
The woman belongs in the kitchen. That is a reality.
That is true, though. Women do belong in the kitchen. We thrive in the kitchen. We thrive being homemakers. We thrive raising our kids, not being a boss babe. I'm sick of this boss babe culture. Why do you want to work and be a slave to some corporate boss? Work and be a slave for your husband and family. Come on, raise your own kids. Stop sending them to daycare.
Of the Latino male chauvinist culture, and I think that's exactly what happened.
Martinez has no idea what he's talking about. Some inconvenient facts for him. For instance, the fact that in 2016, Hillary Clinton won Latino men by a 31-point margin.
Game over already, but wait till you see more.
And if you think it's mainly because of racism, that also doesn't quite jive with the fact that Latinos voted for Barack Obama over Mitt Romney, 71% to Romney's 27%. What are we doing, Democrats? Like, what do you? They're gone, Cenk. They're gone. Like, unable, unwilling to ever do even a little bit of self-reflection.
You really see here too, guys, the fact that Anna Kasparian is so done with her party. Like, she doesn't seem too upset that her candidate lost. She's so sick of the woke lies that the left is spewing all the time, and they're unwilling to ever look at themselves in the mirror and like say, you know what, I was wrong. This is what happened. These are the facts. They refuse to do it. They are incapable.
The Latino Mexican culture in particular, so machismo, they never vote for a woman. That's why Mexico currently has a woman president.
Weird.
Oops.
Weird.
Left that fact out.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, but go ahead, blame your own voters, you morons. So now you're going to blame not the person who ran the campaign. By the way, why don't they do that? Because Sonny Hostin and almost everybody on TV is great personal friends with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and all those guys. So it can't possibly be beloved Kamala Harris's fault.
Like, why would a voter want to vote for these people, this party in the next election if they're just being blamed for why they lost? No, Kamala Harris did not run a flawless campaign. She didn't. That's why she lost. And it's because Americans are waking up. They're sick of the border crisis. They're sick of the wokeness being pushed into the school system. They're sick of men beating their daughters in women's sports. I mean, they're sick of everything.
That's why yesterday we showed you clips of these same people saying that Kamala Harris ran a flawless campaign.
Flawless. Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah was on her side. And normally Queen Latifah doesn't endorse people.
Normally.
Nevertheless, they ran this perfect campaign. I mean, she happened to lose. But other than that, she got Queen Latifah. So now these morons are saying, oh, I got a great idea for the next election. Why don't we punch our own voters in the face and smear them so they'll hate us even more?
Hey, I'm all for this because that means that we'll probably win more elections. Love it. Keep going, strategic Dems. I love it. I love it. So good for the country. It's like the first strategy from the Democrat Party that actually benefits the country, them just scaring their own voters away. God bless America, and God bless these, you know, not the smartest bulbs and not the brightest bulbs. Wow, now I can't talk. I sound like the brightest bulb after I can't even say the right freaking phrase. I wanted to say a word that started with an R, but obviously I can't say that on YouTube because I will get this taken down, which, yeah, let's get back to it.
Because that'll probably help us in the next election.
I think that might be a better strategy than Kamala Harris's brilliant strategy of running with a neocon like Liz Cheney. Let's see how it works out. It's just Yeah, look, I get it. I get that it's difficult to do self-reflection. I get that it's difficult to own up to mistakes, misjudgments. I totally get that. With that said, no one is entitled to a damn thing, okay? No Democratic candidate is entitled to a damn thing. Even if the other guy is Satan himself, okay? The Democrat has to earn votes. And the fact that they feel so entitled, I mean, they feel so entitled that after losing the election, they're just lashing out at the electorate. That's all they've been doing. That is literally all I've seen from the Democratic Party. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting and despicable. And that's why we call them the elitist. It's like we're so sick of these people that just are always mad at the common man, the everyday American citizen like you and me. And we're so good. We know it all. Oh, the American people are too stupid, racist, and sexist to vote for our candidate. They should have just listened to us. That's why they paraded all of these Hollywood celebrities to endorse Kamala Harris. I mean, everyone.
By the way, look, I've said it on this show. I'm about to go and say it on other shows.
Which, by the way, I do have a video that I posted yesterday kind of talking about how people don't care about how Hollywood celebrities endorsing a candidate has no sway over the American people anymore. We're done with this. It's the age of authenticity. I'll link it in the description below. And that one's a pretty interesting one.
Who I blame for the loss? Kamala Harris. Isn't that weird that almost no one on TV is saying that? Like literally saying the words out loud, Kamala Harris is at fault. You know why? Everyone on TV is craving access to the powerful or is personal friends with her or are such elites, they think the idea of criticizing the actual candidate is unthinkable. Unthinkable. She's so important. She's a celebrity, she's famous, she's powerful. You can't just, that sounds outrageous to blame Kamala Harris. That's offensive. But blaming all Latino men, not offensive. Interesting.
Now,
I mean, Chunk is making some good points here. Seriously, maybe Chunk's on his way to be red-pilled. We'll see.
And remember, by the way, the Republicans are the racists.
I know, it's... Now,
they're literally getting red-pilled right in front of us. Guys, is Chunk on his way to being red-pilled too with Anna? That is amazing. I'm happy they're calling them out, okay? F. Sunny Hostin, like, not really, but like, come on, these women, they're such liars. They just are elitist. They want to be in the powerful. They want to be in the know, and it's disgusting. Hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Subscribe if you're still watching. Comment an orange heart if you made it to the end of the video for the algorithm. You guys are the best. Thank you. Bye.